Welcome, everyone. In today's competitive landscape, performance marketing stands out for its measurable outcomes and leveraging data analytics to inform decision making. From targeted advertising to conversion rate optimization, these strategies help in not only attracting new audiences, but also in engaging and retaining the existing ones. Today in the panel discussion, we'll discuss how you all are driving growth through performance marketing. Would both of you like to start by telling me how much of your marketing budget is allocated for performance marketing, and how much percentage of your leads come through it?
Okay, so for us, I think almost 50% of the budgets are through performance marketing, while we have always trying to increase more coming from repeat business, coming from a mid funnel. But and I think we are trying to reduce. We've been able to reduce it year on year, but still 50% of the budgets are going to performance marketing till now.
Hi. The performance marketing we have divided into the two things. I think largely the meta is separate and the marketplace is separate. And if your business is stronger into the marketplace, you need to understand the layers of AMS and Flipkart and Myntra very well, how you should utilize. And I think you can reduce it. If you optimize very well, you can work on almost double-digit ROAS properly, or if someone understands ACOS, is like a single-digit ACOS. Meta and Insta, again, you need to understand your funnels very smartly. What is your top of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, mid of the funnel, what your cohorts are there. Generally, it stays around double-digit, but ROAS can be still closer to your double-digit, can be a thing. But again, it's understanding your audience, customer base, cities, lookalike audience. So those are the metrics. If anyone can understand for their own business, be it a fashion or non-fashion, I think it still can be doable in a better numbers.
Rajiv, can you share an example of a successful performance marketing campaign that you may have worked on?
So I think when you look at performance, we at ReBid have slightly different take. We think if you just focus at the bottom of the funnel with performance, it's at a certain point, it's going to be a negative result or a zero-sum game. There is no performance without seeing the full funnel. So I think no matter what brand you are, whether you're small, very large, whether you're a very well-known brand as well, you need to have, if not, branding elements, but at the top of the funnel, ways and means to, engage audiences, so as to say. So we work with customers across retail, BFSI. In retail, we work with Jack and Jones, Bermuda only. We've seen they are, we did a campaign which was very, very data-driven for them that actually saw 41x ROAS. Now, this campaign, how did we do it? We actually created an AI-based segment of past shoppers through their data. We had their offline data, their marketplace data, we had their D2C data of shoppers who had added to cart and then purchased during specific sale days. So anybody who had a larger basket size during specific sale days over the last 1 year of data, right? And then we segregated these customers based on what they usually bought with what sizes and so on and so forth, so that we had clusters of cohorts within a larger cohorts. And then we ran not just ads, but actually, because these were known customers, email, SMS, WhatsApp, right? So our cost of advertising or reach outs was very low. And that led to a 41x ROAS over a 2-day sale period. They do something called as Water Weekend. That led to that, right? Giving you a BFSI example of performance marketing, we work with, fintech large stockbroking player. And we were able to reduce CACs with the combination, blended CAC, which is, cost of acquisition, by 26% over 4 months by using YouTube for top funnel, but CTA-oriented YouTube content, not like brand film, right? Combined with UAC, which is your Google's app campaign, right? To drive this sort of dip of 26%. And 26% is a huge number for fintech players, as you would imagine. So these are the two examples, but I would like to emphasize all marketing is performance marketing. I can't believe in today's day and age anybody says that they do brand marketing. When there was no digital, it was only TV or print. All of that was also performance marketing because marketers even then had to give some surrogate of performance. So when we look at performance marketing, it doesn't just start with Google and end with Amazon. I would look at all marketing is performance marketing. That's
Or
what I'd like.
I would say otherwise, all marketing is brand marketing, because there is no brand. Even if you're searching and if
True.
you're coming
True,
on
true.
to even if you're not even clicking on the link, you're still seeing upgrade out there or Myntra out there, and then you say, hey, it still registers. So at the end of the day,
Absolutely.
it's actually true that what he said, right? It is
Yeah.
it's not right to segregate. Hey, this is performance and this is brand, but yeah.
It's just different interventions at the funnel stages.
Right. Rajiv, you spoke about data. Can you stress on the importance of data and how do you effectively use it?
So everybody has data, and when I talk to clients across, they all say, hey, we have our internal CDP. When you dig a little deeper, what do you mean by customer data platform? All they have is a transactional record of their current customers. They don't have any behavior record of what was their dwell time on your product. How many products did they check out? What intent did that showcase? Do you have that tag? Do you have data harmonized across D2C, your marketplaces and your own stores? Are you connecting, let's say, even your television, let's say you ran a spot at 11:05 a.m. in the morning in a cricket match. What data did it get to you on your landing page which you advertised, right? Or or a QR code that you put. If people don't have data that talks to each other and that is harmonized. So firstly, your quality of data, the connection of that data dots together make across your organization, especially for marketing, is far, far more important than just having data, right? It's better to have, 20% of your data fully harmonized and connected with each other to a detailed level, and then using that 20% of data as signals to channels like Google and Meta to optimize your campaign, than to say I have data everywhere and I have 20 platforms which have data everywhere. Honestly, to me, that is you just showing off. I have so many cars, but you don't use them at all, right? I mean, it's a silly show off saying I have 20 platforms and data across 20 platforms. You need one platform where all the data connects in a way in which you can use it, make sense of it, and leverage it. That is what is important.
Right. Amit spoke about his preferred platforms. I'll come back to you, but Manik, would you like to talk about your preferred platforms for performance marketing?
I mean, for me, the preferred platform would be whatever gives me the highest ROIs. Of course, if you have 100 rupees and when you start spending money, it depends on which category you are in, right? Maybe you are in a super niche platform which you don't even see any searches on Google, right? Then Google doesn't become my preferred platform. If it is a B2B platform and I know that the LinkedIn is something which is going to give me the right audience, I'll probably go to LinkedIn. And if it is something which I want to target a 15-year-old or a 17-year-old, and I know they are all going to be on Snap, so I'm going to go there. But yes, in traditional way of speaking, right, Google of course has the highest intent, then followed by Meta, which has so many users. It's like, you can keep getting more and more users out of it. But yeah, I think it depends on the category you are in, the kind of users you are targeting, and it is difficult to say one shoe fit all kind of thing. Yeah.
Amit, what are the key metrics that you look at to measure the success of your campaigns?
I think it relates to your previous question. It's all about data. I think in today's performance marketing world, you have to see the data every day. It's not about what is my today's Shopify ROAS or Amazon ROAS or something. You have to layer down. Many times I ask a question, so everyone says, no, we actually tell agency to spend this much amount on my brand or this much amount on this X product or X SKU. You have to actually see a data at every level, be it Amazon, be it Flipkart, be it on Meta also. You have to see what's happening. If you say A product is doing well or a B product is not doing well, what is working for it? If it's an Amazon, it's a SP is working, SD is working, auto or manual campaigns are working. If it's about Meta, means is the campaign still in the learning stage or it come out of the learning stage much quicker than what you are expected out of it? What was previous similar product of the similar price bracket has worked for you. It's all about data. I think if you set your metrics right about every performance campaign, then you are able to come out of it. If it's not that end of the day I see my ROAS, I think you have to see your ROAS every hourly. You can actually find a pattern that, okay, this is the time the customers are dip, this is the time customers come for my kind of a product. Generally, and you can figure out your own theory for your own brand, your own product, okay, this is what happens, these are the times which happens. If you are dealing in a very high AOV product, the customer takes larger time to convert, then you have to have that kind of a patience, okay, let's wait, let's me be still into the intense stage. And if your product is a very low AOV product, you know that his conversion is going to change basis what's coming to that. So it's all about, there cannot be preferred metric for everything, but the metrics, generally you have to be EBITDA positive. That's a mantra. Everyone says Shark Tank, everyone knows this. So the thing is that you have to put your money wisely.
And I'd like to add to that, metrics change based on which phase you are as a company, right? So if you're a company that's into acquisition and scaling, like really high scale, you're trying to scale at the lowest cost, right? Which could be a CAC or a cost of acquisition metric. Let's say you are a company that's sort of scaled but now wants to, drive better returns from the, audience that you acquired, then ROAS becomes. If you are really a scaled player, you would move to what a lot of global players are talking, and when you have connected data, is profit on ad spend, POAS, not ROAS. That's also a term where you connect your net margin to ad sources that you are advertising on. So I mean, as you go onto that maturity curve as a brand and go from a challenger to an incumbent, as the theme of the conference is, each metric that becomes your key sort of North Star metric changes, and it should be like that because businesses are not static; they're always fluid. So that's the way I would look at that metric question.
Just to add to that, I think we should not again have one metric. We all know ROAS, and we know even now going to LTVs, and even starting at CTRs and CPCs and stuff. But we need to create our own metrics, right? Depending on where we are, as he said, rightly said, the age of the company, the evolution of the company, and also depending on channel, right? A high intent channel will convert a user quickly, but a low intent channel you'll have to probably farm the user, take some time to convert the user. So you cannot judge both the channels on the same metric. One of the metrics, because we generate a lot of leads, right? And instead of looking at, hey, how many people are converted, what is the ROAS in a month, we are looking at what is the percentage of interested prospect users. We are looking at what is the time to convert, right? And then we are also going deeper and looking at sales plus marketing CAC. It's not just marketing CAC. It's possible that there will be campaigns or there will be channels who can get us a very high, a good ROAS, but the sales effort is so much that it ends up becoming a non-profitable one. So we'll have to develop metrics depending on the stage of the company, depending on the kind of company, and also depending on the different channel which you're using.
Manik, for upGrad, how do you integrate your performance marketing strategies with your traditional marketing?
So one thing which we already touched, right? It is difficult to say, hey, this is performance and this is traditional. What we are trying to do is, whenever we are running a YouTube campaign, or you're running a brand campaign on TV, ATL, etc., you have to have a very, very clear call to action button, right? Search for upGrad on Google, right? And then you are running Google campaigns. Well, right, you have a very good connected campaigns. Second, of course, the communication has to be seamless across the campaigns. You cannot be talking about, aage ka socho, and then on your page or on your Facebook ads, you're talking about something else. So it has to be connected. It has to, one should lead to the other, and hence it will feed from each other and create a good, better ecosystem, which leads to overall better marketing, overall better ROAS for the company.
I actually had a curious question on that. So are you looking to track, let's say, brand search lift or organic and direct lift from all the offline, or I wouldn't even call it offline, all the non-directly measurable advertising that you do?
So brand lift is one of the easiest things to measure, right? I mean, you run a survey, you have media mix.
I would actually say brand search lift where you can actually see your search
Yeah, I mean,
interest rising.
that is again,
Yeah,
that
which
is very, very easy to measure. And we are running campaign, of course, the brands will grow. The real thing is to actually, can we measure the ROIs of the brand campaigns which you are running, right? If you are not running, so that is what with different campaigns you run, you're running it, so you have a media dark market, or you have different markets where you're running only this versus you're not running
You're doing
this.
incrementality test on whether it's leading to organic or direct uplift in those markets per se.
Right. I mean, how do you increase your conversion from mere clicks to having a more engaged session?
From clicks to engaging session is all about how you have built your website. And it's all about, it has to be more engaging, it has to be about storytelling. And if you're driving traffic from Meta, Insta, then it's all about the hooks. See, I think it should start with your brand stands for. I think that if you have that storytelling, I think that storytelling has to convert into brand. If you do a more of a sales job, then it becomes very price-centric kind of things, and the price becomes the hook. If you want the brand becomes to the hook, then your story has to be the storytelling. And there are cohorts which you have to do it. And you will have always cohorts of customers who are looking for deals. Have one cohort on the website for that, who are looking for deals. Certain customers are looking for this. So what we have done, I'll tell you as a story, are all categorizations on the website are based on the search volume which Google has. And those categorization names only we are created. And we know that these type of searches happen. And for that, what kind of price points and the products they look into it. If you have a little scientific method, you can increase from clicks to CTR in a very structured way. But if you believe, no, I just want to be creative, you will have a great creative website, but those metrics will be a little off.
Manik, for the edtech category, the pandemic was a great time where it was all about, acquisition at all costs. But now it's all about sustainable marketing. How do you manage the cost per acquisition and ensure that your marketing is sustainable?
I think one thing which is at least in upGrad, right? What we've seen, it started during it gained a lot of speed during pandemic, but we're still seeing a lot of growth in terms of upskilling, right? Everyone wants to upskill. Any Indian you talk about, and you need to talk to your customers individually, and you'll realize that there's so much aspiration. Everyone wants to grow in their life, in their career, and everything. So we are still seeing a lot of good growth in the overall category as such. But yes, as we were speaking, right, the evolution of the brand, evolution of the company, what we used to spend earlier, or what kind of money we used to spend earlier, because of also how we are as a brand, right? I don't need to spend as much money. I don't need to push people as much to convert or as much to drop a lead onto my platform, because there is a lot of hard work which has been already done by the brand teams earlier, which has been going on for the last 5 years. So while our scale has been growing, our CAC has been coming down. There has been efficiency in marketing. There has been efficiency in sales. And then overall, I would say, in general with the category growing in, that has also helped. Lastly, I think our mid-funnel campaigns have also started because we have so much data from users across platforms. We are able to understand who the users is, personalize a little bit. Mid-funnel campaigns have started to grow. So that's how we are able to keep a good control over our CAC, and it's with a good year-on-year growth.
Rajiv, what are some of the emerging trends in performance marketing?
I think, let me put it this way, right? I used to run a very large agency over, called What Consult from 2010 to 2020. So somewhere in 2014-15, performance marketing was an art, because when you were optimizing campaigns, you were truly optimizing campaigns. Now all the campaigns are AI automated, right? I mean, large number of the performance marketing campaigns. Honestly, there is very little your agency, quote unquote, can do, because they are being run through a machine learning algorithm and optimizing by themselves. What you can do though is the aspect of providing lower funnel data signals of which kind of customers, which profitable segment, which type of audience that you are gleaning from the leads, sales, add to carts, whenever the customer gives you data, you need to push that back into the Google Meta platforms to sort of optimize them, and this is what is called conversions API or enhanced conversions. That's the new feature that's there. Another thing that's coming in terms of new emerging trends is search, which is the bread and butter of performance, is being threatened by AI search or AI overview, and that's happening quite rapidly. I mean, it's actually an Indian founder of a company called, or Indian origin founder, ex-IIT Madras pass out, of a company called Perplexity.ai, which has launched a query engine for answers, and then is now launching ads on those answers. Very early days, right? Nobody knows where this is going, whether ChatGPT will also launch it, whether Google already has launched AI overview and already has launched ads on AI overview, but classic Google doesn't give any segmentation on that, right? So you can't know which users or audiences these ads are previewing to, because AI overview, which comes in Google search right now, is still in its infancy stage. So definitely the combination of data and AI is going to define the the future era, and I do believe that even for any kind of non-direct response marketing, which is you're not getting a lead or a sale immediately within the same session of the user, but you are engaging the user either through a video or any other campaign. Even for there will be data-driven solutions where the incrementality of it would be easy to calculate. That, hey, I did this YouTube campaign and my brand searches are going up, my direct CAC has come down, or my direct account opens have gone up. And all of that together will create what we call as a cohesive, performance-oriented marketing. May not be PPC as we used to call it in the olden days, or search and social as we used to call it. I think those terms are archaic now. But most marketing is going to be performance-oriented, and anything that's trackable, anything that has the element of data and AI layer on top to be able to create correlations will be performance-oriented marketing.
To close, would you all like to share one pitfall of performance marketing that you had to deal with and now you have overcome it? Amit, would you like to start?
So I'll give the solution rather than saying the pitfall, learned over a period of time. I think if you are a challenger brand and you have a limited set of money, create a very strong data-oriented things. I'll give you the solution how to do it, is that put your price elasticity model at what price point, what SKU sales across every platform, be it Shopify, Amazon, Flipkart, and what volume is happening over that, try to map a spends as well. If you are able to understand at what price point, at what discount, what volume you are generating, and what spends you are able to do it in the BAU days, event days, and other man-made event create days differently, I think you will able to find the sweet spot for your brand across this entire very overly communicated performance marketing world. And if you do that, I think there is no pitfall remains for you.
Manik?
So one thing which I've seen is if you over-index on performance marketing, it has diminishing returns. Second, you also miss out on talking to the customer, knowing the customer. We start looking at Excel sheets and numbers, and this just one number, or start over-optimizing campaigns and looking at, and we forget what the customer really wants. So that's one, right? When we over-index on performance marketing, know your customer is the best strategy, I would say. Second, of course, with the growth of performance marketing, so is the ad fraud, which is increasing, right? You get 100 app installs, and only like 80 will uninstall on the same day. You don't know what to go, where to go, and whatnot. And then the lifelong problem, I have been in this industry for 12, 13 years. Day one, I had the problem, and I still have the problem, is attribution. You have 7, 8 different channels running, and the customer's journey is different, right? It is not straightforward. They're going from one channel to other channel. So it becomes a little difficult. It's still difficult problem for me to solve. How do you actually attribute the right returns from different channels?
I think the pitfalls would be that not everything is a performance marketing problem. And now I'm using performance marketing in the context of search, all of that. The reason I say that is, if you have extreme low brand searches, and all you are doing with performance marketing is bidding on non-brand keywords, you have a branding problem, right? You have a brand, awareness problem, and that can be solved by money, but also can be solved by doing very small, smart, viral elements that get you the share of mind of customers, right? It's about how you do it, right? So clearly, I think you need to identify what your problem is, right? It may be a product returns problem. It may be a absolutely poor, horrendous customer journey flow problem, not a performance marketing problem at all, right? So I think it's very easy to blame this medium because it's like you want to put 2 rupees in and get 4 rupees out, or 1 rupee in and get 10 rupees out. And in the early days of any brand, it does work like that. But post that, if all the other elements of your business and brand are not working, performance marketing cannot do anything.
All right. Thank you for this interesting discussion.